Now let's get the ball rolling with the epic film Adunni, Ogidan, Obirin, which translates to Adunni, the powerful woman. The film follows the story of Adunni, a fearless and passionate barrister who fights for justice and liberation in a community ruled by a tyrant. It explores themes of power, greed, and the fight for freedom. I am now being joined by the film's producer, Funmi Ogidan Bello. Thank you for joining us and big congratulations on the release of your movie. Now, how has the reception been so far?
Oh well, it's been good. It's been good based on the feedback I've been getting and the director, like now I'm back in the UK. So I've gotten feedbacks that has been good. Some not too good because of the itch we've encountered at the cinemas, just no more politics.
We know there's been growing conversations, around politics within Nigerian cinemas, claims of unfair listing practices and gatekeeping. Have you personally encountered any of these challenges?
I think it's not just in the movie industry. I think it cuts across. So every sector, music, even politics itself, and in entertainment generally, I think this politics they happen. There are things that people have gotten used to in Nigeria, and it's become our norm. So to cry about it will be deceiving yourself because it happens. So when I was in Nigeria, our film was released on the 25th of April. And yeah, we got to the cinema. We're hoping people were trying to convince us to watch something else. They didn't know who we were. And they were just trying, and we didn't see our banners and all that. It was a toughie because I've heard about it before I came to Lagos, but it happened to me firsthand, so I know. So yeah, I'm not too phased. I'm not too surprised because it's a good film. When you got something really good, you really don't need to bother too much. Even though you want to get to the next level, the work speaks for itself. And the people that have seen it, they speak for it. So yeah, that's why I'm not that I'm not bothered, but yeah, I'm not really phased.
Wow, it's quite a shame that, you or anyone had to go through any of that. Now let's move on to the good stuff. Your movie. Share with us, the creative process behind it.
Okay. All right, cool. I think it started 8 years ago. So this script was written 8 years ago. So Uncle Yemi, that's the director, Yemi Amadu. So I called him up because I wanted somebody who was artistic. I just didn't want any director. I was very intentional about picking the director. So we worked on a story together. He's the writer of the story, but we built it together. But, he's the main brain behind it. Uncle Yemi is very learned. Matter of fact, I tried to contact other people, but then again, I didn't get the response I wanted. But Uncle Yemi was very upfront and he was responding the way I wanted it to be because I wanted a film that would show not just the woman's struggle, that will show everyone's struggle. Because in life, like if you are trying to be realistic, in life, it's not just women. Men go through a lot as well. Men fight for people. But I wanted it from the lens of the woman into the man, into the child, then into the politics of everything, just like the politics we were talking about earlier. So it started 8 years ago. I was looking for sponsors. I was like, okay, let me just wait. Let me get sponsors. Let me search around. But because I'm a new name, not because I just started filming, but in Nigeria, I'm a new name, right? So we started doing it and we kept on postponing it, sponsors, postponing it. Script was getting out there, it leaked at some point. And about 2 years ago, I just said, okay, you know what? Let's just do it, right? So I got my act together, no sponsors. I put money together, however I wanted to do it. I didn't have anyone sponsor me. No, so it's self-sponsored. And Uncle Yemi told me that it's going to be a long ride. We need to do this pretty well. So we had that in mind before we started casting. We were very intentional with our casting. We didn't cast people because they were popular. We casted them because they could deliver their roles. And we believed in every character. And just like we thought, when they got on set, wow, they were wow. All of them, they brought their A game, nice people. They did what they needed to do. And, we weren't wrong in casting any of the acts that we used in the film. So yeah, that was how it started.
I must commend you for the star-studded cast and storyline. What about the story spoke to you? I mean, what made it a must-tell for you on screen?
Okay, so because in our society, not just in Nigeria, everywhere all over the world, there's no winning for women, right? There's no winning. No angle you want to have a look at it, especially in our culture in Nigeria, there's no winning because whatever the woman does gets questioned by family, by our friends, by the public, by our kids. So I wanted to show the strength of a woman. My mom always says that women are gods. That's little gods, right? With the small g, because we create. We can't create without the man. However, whatever the man gives us, we multiply it. I wanted to tell that story, however, not come across as a feminist because I'm not. So I wanted to tell the story about women fighting for their men. We do this psychologically every single day of our lives. We fight for people in our head, our kids, people we don't know, we fight for them. So, regardless of the kind of woman we're talking about, women fight for people psychologically. So, even when they're handicapped, they can't do anything, they fight up here. So, I wanted to tell that story. I wanted people to see the strength of women while fighting for their men, for their kids, for their community. Everyone gains from a woman one way or the other. So, that was what inspired me.
Interesting. Now, the film has made rounds in Nigerian cinemas. What are the chances of you exploring, international distribution platforms?
Okay, so I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say man proposes, God disposes. So, however, we have in mind, because like I said earlier, we shot the film at Netflix level, right? The standard Netflix really wants all their films to be shot. So that's the standard we shot it, even before the Netflix saga in Nigeria and all that. So we had that in mind because we had it. We were thinking beyond cinemas, right? It was just because cinema is like the first step into mainstream. So we've submitted for different film festivals. We were nominated for Abuja International Film Festival. We're nominated and picked for Eco International. We spread our tentacles, and the distribution team were using Tribe Nation. They have tentacles outside Nigeria. So we're going to be showing in the UK. We're going to be screening in the UK come next month. Fingers crossed, and we'll be showing in francophone countries as well. So we've got all that, and just to say the acceptance internationally, it's there. We have no doubt because people in Hollywood, UK, America, wherever, they want to see genuinity, So we need to be the teller of our stories, right? If whatever we tell, that's what they take. So if we show our community as being corrupt, that's how they take it. So, but however, Adunni on the opposite side is showing that we are fighting against the corruption the colonial masters brought to us. They brought it to us, right? But we are fighting against it. So that's what Adunni is showing. Adunni is presenting our culture, our nation, as we're fighting against corruption. We are not the corrupted one. However, the whole world is corrupt, isn't it? So that's why we're here today. But we're showing it from a point of view that whoever is watching it, be you white, brown, black, green, blue, whoever, you understand it. So I believe that our films, like we've got a lot of films from Nigeria here screening in the UK. Films from other producers that are screening in the UK right now, and it's acceptable. It's acceptable because we're now doing quality work. All the films coming out this period, quality work. You cannot fault it. So we're not doing anything that Bollywood is not doing. We're not doing anything, we're getting there. We're hoping for the best.
Absolutely. Finally, for me, before we let you go, we understand you played a dual role, the producer and the actress in the movie. Share with us the experience and how you were able to juggle these responsibilities. Must be really difficult.
So before I left Nigeria to the UK, I'd been acting. I was in Twilight Zone, the campus comedy. I acted with Francis Agolage, Francis Ago of Checkmate. I did a film. I was in quite a few films. Then in the UK, I've been acting. So for me, it wasn't a first, but that was my first major production. I produced the film, and I'm almost the lead. I'm Adunni in the film. So it was a challenge because we had these fantastic actors on set. I had to bring my A game, because I didn't want to waste their time. I wanted to prove to them that I might be the producer, but I'm also an actor. So the respect both ways came through because I didn't have to waste their time. They didn't have to say, oh, let's teach her how to do this. It was very challenging because we're in Nigeria, we're in Oyo State. There was a point I fainted because of exhaustion and all that. So it was really challenging. But Uncle Yemi Amodu, kudos to him. He held me through it all. He held me through it all. And everyone on set was really good. So I didn't have a tough time.
Well, kudos to you again. Thank you so much for joining us, Funmi Ogidan Bello, producer Adunni Ogidan Obirin.
Thank you.